Hey, Jane. I just got engaged! Which means that sometime soon here, I'll make sure to introduce you to him. But could you make sure to have a better understanding of the position you're in before then? That's something I need you to know first. Wait, you got engaged? Well, congratulations for that. Now, what's this about my position? I told my fiancé that my older sister is nothing more than high school dropout scum. So please, think of yourself as a slave when you're meeting with him. If you start to sit down with the rest of us and eat with the rest of us, I'm going to get upset. What are you going on about, Casey? Are you saying that you don't want me to introduce myself as your brother's wife, but rather as a slave? What? Oh, you're so funny. I would love it if you said that about yourself to him, so please do that. Hello, nice to meet you. I'm this family's slave, Jane. Is that what you'll say to introduce yourself to him? That seems like a much better way of telling him about who you are, and I'd very much love to see that. But that would be way too embarrassing, so could you please not do that? Just as long as you do the things you're supposed to be doing, that should be enough. I see. Actually, I don't really see. And like always, make sure you get the house all nice and tidied up before we come, all right? Also, would you please get some good coffee for us as well as some sweets? Ah, so that's what you want me doing. Understood then. So when you get married to him, does that mean you'll finally be leaving this house? You're surely going to go and live with him, right? That's the plan I have right now, but that has nothing to do with you, right? Oh, you're absolutely right. I'm sorry for asking. Hey, listen, is there anything we can do about the way you speak to me? Remember, I'm your husband's little sister, okay? I want you to speak more politely to me, please. Unlike a high school dropout like you, I actually went to and graduated from university, which means that I'm on a completely different level from you. Ah, yes, ma'am. My apologies for the confusion there. From here on out, allow me to use a more polite form of speech with you. For some reason, you're even more annoying now. Are we done here? My fiancé happens to be a doctor, all right? That means the world he's living in is leagues different from the hole you have to crawl out from. So please, don't force him to have to listen to any of your utter nonsense when he's over. Oh, so he's a doctor then? Well, that is very amazing. Right? He won't even be able to make small talk with a high school dropout idiot like you. So please, don't say anything needless to him while he's around you, okay? If he were to catch you're stupid, that would be a major risk to his career, right? Understood. I'll make sure to keep my lips sealed shut tight. Oh, now I'd like to tell you this. Your cleaning today is by far the worst I've seen out of you so far. The trim around my windows was still covered in things like dust and dead bugs. Understood. My apologies for that. Starting the next time I clean, I will make sure to really put my back into all of it and triple check to make sure all the areas of the house are covered. For some reason, you're only getting more annoying. Anyway, on the day my fiancé comes over to see you guys, make sure to keep your mouth shut and work like our slave. Do you understand that? Yes, I understand you loud and clear. My fiancé just arrived at the house and will be coming in soon, so get your ugly ass down here and get the coffee ready. Where the hell are you and what have you been doing? I'm so sorry about that. I can see he's already here at the house. I just finished with all the cleaning. I'll be coming down there right now. I made sure to tell him that you're our slave, so make sure you get everything ready for us within seconds. Of course, I'll be very quick. No slothing around, you high school dropout. So sorry if things seemed that way. To think that you and him happened to know one another before this? The moment he saw you and noticed who you were, he went up to you and hugged you with all his strength. I was so surprised by that, there was no way for me to speak any more words out of my mouth. That's what it seemed. Sorry for that. I mean, I never even thought myself that that man who would be your fiancé would be the same man I went to college with overseas. Tyler. I was so happy to see him again, and it's been so long now. So that means he's back from whatever he was doing overseas, right? Wait, sure he's back now, but what the hell is all of this about? You just said that the both of you went to the same college with one another? You are supposed to be a high school dropout, right? Yes, that's correct. The last schooling I had in the United States was middle school. But soon after that, I went overseas to go to high school in the UK. And then once I'd graduated from there, I went to Germany, and that's where I'd gone to college. I then went back to the UK again for my final years in college, and that's where I met with Tyler. At the time, he and I became really close to one another, actually. But then after we had both graduated, our lives got in the way of things, and we no longer were really talking to one another much. We never were able to tell one another about our phone numbers when we came back to the US, and so it was hard for us to ever know each other's situation. Really, I had no idea he was even in the same state as us. But wow, to think we'd meet again in this way. This is not the time for you to be surprising about anything. I'm just hearing about how you went to high school and college overseas. What the hell is up with that? I never heard anything about all of that. Well, I'm sure you never did. After all, you and I never really talked to one another outside of you yelling at me and bossing me around. And you never asked me about my past education, so I never thought to tell you anything about myself. Right? I mean, all you heard from me was that I had never graduated from high school in the US, and that's where you stopped listening to anyone and only called me a high school dropout. It's not like I had a reason to get the story straight with you anyway, because you wouldn't ever listen, right? So I just let things be the way they've been. But hearing that you went to college overseas and at the exact same place that Tyler was going, wouldn't that make you an elite like him? I'm not sure what all about that would make me an elite. But if you're just speaking about my educational history alone, then sure, you could call me an elite. What the hell? Now you're getting carried away with yourself. If you call yourself an elite, then why are you not working right now and stay a housewife? Well, the thing is, me being a housewife doesn't necessarily mean that I don't have a job right now. I'm making sure that all of my husband's family is okay and that you all are supported by someone who cares. Oh, and that's not all though, considering I am also working online. But that's just something I do with my free time because I can. And since I have a kid with your brother right now, there's no way for me to work a full-time job, right? I'm sure that you're not aware of this yet, but being the type of housewife that I am right now is actually quite a challenging task at times. What the hell is that? Wait, did you just say you're working online from home? I never heard anything about you doing something like that. Well, like you said about my education, that makes sense. You thought that I would just start talking to you about how I work from home time to time when you never once asked me what I do besides cleaning and caring. If I were to just break out saying that to you from nowhere, that would be kind of lame of me, right? Wait, well, I guess it would be, but it's not like you ever had any interest in me before, right? Anytime you would talk to me, it was just to tell me what you wanted me to do for you. Sure, you would put on a face in front of your mom and brother to make yourself look all goody two-shoes. But when it was just you and me, you would have me speak to you in the politest way I could. And you would call me your slave all the time, making it pretty clear that you had no interest in me at all. Well, sure, I didn't have interest in you before. Don't you say anything useless to my fiancé, though, all right? What would you define as useless? Like, give me an example, please. So far, I haven't been telling him any lies or anything. And when he asks me something, I answer it with the truth. And if he never asks me about another thing, I never answer it. That's the way I've always spoken with others and the way I plan to continue to speak with him. Well, don't tell him anything about how I called you a slave and used you like one. I don't want him thinking that there's something wrong with me. I have to get married to that man. I already went and quit my own job in preparation for this marriage, so if you start saying unnecessary stuff to him about me, I'll be the one in trouble. What's that? Weren't you just making fun of how I'm a housewife and all that before? That was just me making fun of a low-life loser like you. Well, it seems you have some educational background after all that's worthwhile, right? And hearing that you've been working some from home as well does change things. But of course, you're still my older brother's wife, which means that me being able to mess with you all I want isn't going to change because of those things. Oh, is that right? Well, suit yourself. I just hope that you'll be able to get married to Tyler, really. I'm going to get married whether you're hoping for it or not. As long as you don't say anything useless to him, then I'm going to be able to marry him. So shut your damn mouth and leave us be. That doesn't sound like the right attitude to be asking something like that from me with. Anyway, I have chores and such to get back to now, so I'll be going.
Jane! I was so shocked by everything that ended up happening yesterday, but being able to meet with you again after so long made me happy. Man, I can't believe that Casey's sister-in-law would turn out to be you, of all people.
Right? I'm shocked that such a coincidence like this would ever happen to me. And for a long time now, I'd been really wondering how things were going for you out in the world. Being able to meet with you after so many years has gone by has made me really happy as well.
We both had a great time, it seems, then. But it kind of stinks that you had to be kicked out like that by Casey, leading to us not being able to talk more and catch up. Did you know that before she was telling me all about how her sister-in-law was like a slave to her? Was that her referencing you that way? I thought she was just joking about all of that at first, and that's why it wasn't that big of a deal to me at first. But now that I saw what happened yesterday, does that mean...
Right. You're right about her. She has always been calling me a slave and has been working me like one as well. My husband and both of my in-laws are very kind to me and all, but she seems to be the only one who thinks that it's okay to use me however she wants to, instead of like family.
Is that really true? I was always told by her that her sister-in-law never graduated from high school and that she was too stupid to understand anything logical. That's what she was telling me before, at least. Does that mean...
About that, actually. She's always been assuming I'm someone I'm not, and because she never offers to actually listen to me, I gave up arguing with her. For a little while, she and I actually did talk some small talk, but somewhere along the way, I must have said something that changed her mind about me. And ever since then, she hasn't been able to listen to a single word I say to her, nor anyone else's words about me.
I see. You had always been so smart and funny to talk with before. To hear that someone like you isn't being listened to or even spoken to by her?
Right. I think you're picking up what I mean. And with her never listening to anything I have to say, she's always thought of me as this high school dropout and nothing more than that. To be honest, it's never really bothered me, though. I am, after all, just the housewife of the home she's been living in. So long as she's sticking around in the house, I'll be taking care of her needs. But I like to think that when she leaves, and I really hope that she soon will, my days will become a lot brighter again, and I can finally have a chance to rest.
Is that right? If you're saying all that about her, then she must really be a problem. She makes you do all of the chores for her?
Yes, of course.
What? But she's living in her parents' house with all of you still, right? Shouldn't she have been doing the chores alongside you this whole time, since she's their daughter?
Well, if that's the way things had gone at the start, then I'm sure we wouldn't be having this conversation. But that never ended up happening with her, as she seems to think of herself as someone better than a person that does the chores. And now that I'm in the house with the family, she thinks it's right for her to use me to do all of the chores for her and everyone else. Well, this wasn't going to be avoided, though, considering the person she is.
But you're her sister-in-law, right? What makes her think that she can talk to her older sister like that?
Right? Who the hell knows, to be honest? But having to try and talk with her about that is too much work for me. So I just shut up and let her have her fun.
I see. But if that's the case, then I'm a bit... Getting married to someone who thinks and acts like that is a bit too... I mean, she's making someone like you work like her slave, right? even though you did so much for me in the past and were a really great friend of mine. I just feel that in the future, if she's my wife and I come home from work all tired and wanting to relax, she's... Wait, now that I think about it, can she even cook?
Not that I'm aware of, because I've never even seen her in the kitchen cooking. Oh, there was this one time she tried making scrambled eggs, but ended up burning them to a crisp. Why do you ask?
I'm starting to really get it now. There have been a couple of times she's made food for me, saying that she wanted me to try her cooking. And well, after all you were saying about her, I started to wonder if that was really her cooking.
Oh, I'm not sure if it was or wasn't hers. But if it tasted really good and wasn't burnt, then she might have ordered takeout or something and dressed it up on a plate for you.
Really? I guess that makes sense. Thank you for telling me that.
What? Are you going to do something about that?
Well, we'll just have to wait and see. I need to go and have a long conversation with her about some things now. And before I get to that, I'll make sure to prepare myself for the worst.
Wait, what are you talking about, Tyler? It's all because of you that my marriage is not going to happen now. You, what the hell did you say to my fiancé? Why the hell was he telling me about you when he said things were off? You're making a mistake there. None of that has anything to do with me and cannot be my fault. I believe the reason he's leaving you now is because of your own faults. No, this has all happened because you began to say unnecessary crap to him about me, right? You told him all about how I was calling you a slave and was making fun of you, right? Casey, did you actually go and talk with Tyler about all of this before coming to me? Because from what I'm hearing, you're still not aware of all the stupid and bad things you did that led you to this outcome. What kind of stupid and bad things are you talking about? What's wrong with me using a woman like you who married into my family as a slave to do all of my bidding? I'm betting that you told him a bunch of lies about me too to make me look even worse. Ugh. You really do have all this wrong inside that thick head of yours. You were the one who stabbed him in the back, all right? What? What the hell are you going on about? I never once stabbed him in the back. Well, from what Tyler told me, you went and lied to him about your cooking, right? But he knows now that the food you gave him was just takeout that you bought from somewhere else before going to his place and dressed up all nicely on a dish. What? Why do you know about all that? Well, I am good friends with Tyler. So when he told me about that a while ago, we both felt that it was kind of weird that you were able to cook for him. I told you, didn't I? I told you to stop talking to him. So you didn't do as you promised me before? Didn't do as I promised you? I'm sorry, but I never promised you anything before, Casey. So stop treating me like I'm a dog that's supposed to be listening to all of your commands. And by the way, out of the two of us, you're the true dog here. If it wasn't for me always taking care of you, then you'd never be able to survive. What did you just say to me? For someone that couldn't even make scrambled eggs, you think we're going to believe you could cook this magnificent meal for him? No way in hell that actually could happen with you. You know, the other day I was talking with Tyler some more and we were both laughing about how you would always complain about my cooking, like you know any better. Huh? How much have you been talking with Tyler about me? Saying all of those things about me without me around? Is it really that fun for you to put others down like that behind their backs? Well, you seem to have a lot of fun doing it behind my back when you called me your slave before. And it's not like I was lying about any of the things he and I were laughing about you over. I mean, I would be a lot more kind to you behind your back had you been a nicer sister-in-law to me. But let's just say, hey, just know that he was always the one initiating the conversations with me, and all I did was answer him with the truths about you. You are a total bitch for that, though. Why would you do all of that useless crap to me? Because if I had to choose between you and him, Tyler is far more important to me. which means I never felt the need to have to go out of my way to help make you look like a better person by lying to him. I'm your sister-in-law, though. That makes you and I family, right? Also, I heard about how you want me to get out of the house now, right? And that's why you were so happy to hear about me getting married soon. Well, I want to get married soon, too. Oh, you noticed how happy I was getting about that? Well, you're right. I want you to get out of your parents' house as soon as possible for me. But don't worry, that's going to be happening regardless whether you marry Tyler or not. Huh? What the hell are you going on about now? What does that even mean? I said that because both of your parents are going to disown you now. What? Why would they do that? Because you're still stabbing Tyler in the back the moment we're speaking right now, correct? Huh? What is that supposed to mean? You can play stupid all you want, but you're only wasting your own time. We have all the evidence we need proving what you're doing to be true. You haven't been out playing around with another man that isn't Tyler, right? Well, Tyler realized something was up with you and asked for someone else to look into you while he was busy. Wait, why would he do something like that to me over such a small thing? Remember that both Tyler and I are smart people, and to us, we have a very good idea of when things go from normal to off. So when he realized that you had been lying to him about your so-called cooking, a light bulb turned on above his head. What? Something like that could happen? People are very strange creatures, aren't they? And when he realized that you were someone who was totally fine with lying all the time about everything and everyone, he thought there had to be many more lies you were telling him. My ex-boyfriend cheated on me in the past, and so I knew where Tyler was coming from with that feeling. And so when he asked me about you, I just told him that it wouldn't be crazy to think that you'd be doing the same thing to him like my ex had done. That's what tipped him off? Not just that, though. What was it you planned to do after you got married to him? You were going to become a housewife after you had already gone and quit your decent job, right? I mean, you were already trying to act like one weeks ago when you'd stay at Tyler's house, right? Well, what were you doing all day when you said you were cooking for him and such, but were just getting takeout and leaving it on the stove for him, Was your day just filled with you getting that food for him? At that time, I was practicing how to cook and such for him. I didn't have anything else to do at the time, so I was going to class to learn how to be a good cook for. I see. You've always been great at making yourself look like an elite, but something like cooking would become your downfall if found out. So you were on the right path there, lying about going to class in order to become a better cook while Tyler was out of his house. Ah, thank God. I would have felt so bad for Tyler had he actually gotten married to a woman like you. I just knew it. You went and did all of this to me, didn't you? Not really. I think you still have the wrong idea blaming me for all of this. Remember, I'm not an elite like you are, so I'd never ever go out spreading lies about you to make you look bad. But you did do some terrible things to me over the years, and so I had every right to go out and tell Tyler the truth when he was asking for it. That's why when I told him, you just looked bad regardless. Well, what you're doing to me right now is even worse than anything I'd ever done. I knew you would never be able to understand me. The fact that you're still having so much trouble seeing that you've been in the wrong and that you need to learn from your mistakes just goes to show that you and I are on opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to common people skills. Well, that's too bad, because unlike you, Tyler is just like me and can actually understand where I'm coming from with all of this. So he's going to be leaving you now after he gets that settlement, and that will be all. What? What settlement are you talking about? Wait a second, we weren't even married yet. And in my case, me not getting married is already causing me so much trouble, right? That doesn't matter to him. You're the one that chose to stab him in the back at the end of the day. All because you seem to think that you could just get away with everything, all because you don't have a good understanding of what it means to be a proper adult. Had you at least tried to be a good sister-in-law to me, then I might actually be trying to help you get married to him. But after everything I've heard from you today, you just tied the knot to your own noose. I hope that rotting in hell after today helps you to understand the kind of narrow-minded and selfish pile of crap you really are deep down. After that, Tyler went to Casey again and made sure to tell her as clearly as he could that he wanted to end things with her forever. And in order to stop her from coming up with all kinds of excuses for her actions, he handed her all the evidence he had. So in the end, she had really no other choice but to listen to what he wanted and no longer see him as her fiancé or boyfriend anymore. And with both of her parents knowing about what she'd done as well, they made sure to disown her, and she was really on her own from that point on. My husband and I had also made sure to cut ties to her when we had the chance and blocked her on everything as well in order to stop any further trouble. We also made sure to take all of her things that she had in her room and packed them all up nicely for her and placed them outside, so that when she did come back, she could take them and not have to come inside. I really don't have much interest in what happened to her after that, so I'm not sure about all the details. But I've heard rumors about how she got herself a part-time job and has been working in order to pay off her settlement to Tyler. I hope that all of the hard work that she's going to be put through now will be enough to change her horrible behavior, and maybe get her to think twice about being such a selfish jerk.
Ken, thank you for going through and examining everything for us. Everyone within the company is very pleased with your work, and even the higher-ups are talking a lot now. I had never wanted to work with you, Ken, and it made me upset having you around with us since we should be able to handle this work on our own. But the work you have put in has helped us a lot so far, and I look forward to eventually getting this project completed. Well, I still have to talk with some of my people about all of this, so I can't say everything for now, but I don't want any of my work to affect you after you and I have known one another since high school. So I plan to do only what I can here without it becoming a problem. Thank you, Ken. I'm glad to see that you're still so considerate of me. And another thing, your wedding is coming up soon, right? Congratulations on that. Have you gotten the invitation from me yet? I feel a bit embarrassed asking that, actually. And I have already invited a bunch of other people from back in high school. So I bet this will feel more like a class reunion than an actual wedding for everyone. A class reunion, huh? There's no problem with that. I'm looking forward to this wedding class reunion. If this whole business discussion that we've had ends up falling through in the end, you and I are still friends, right? Of course, man. I'm not gonna get work mixed up in our personal life, okay? Thank you, Ken. I'm the kind of guy that likes to regard all of his friends as more important than his work, actually. No, I'll be looking forward to that wedding of yours. And I'll make sure to reply to your invitation before then.
Can I talk with you for a moment, Ken?
This must be Joshua's wife, right?
That's right. I plan to have a surprise ready for him, and so I've made a group chat for all of us to discuss it in. And in that group chat, I heard a few things about you from someone. Is it true that you never went to college?
Yes.
Well, if that's really the case for you, then I think it may be a mistake having you at the wedding. What do you think?
Can you tell me what all of this is about right now? I did skip out on going to college, but...
Well, Ken, you do realize that Joshua is part of the elite, right?
Yeah, I understand that. I think out of all my friends from back in high school, he was the one that tried his hardest.
Then, do you think you can take a moment to think about who you are compared to him?
Who am I compared to him?
There's no way a high school graduate would ever be friends with someone that's elite, right? And do you think that you can come to his wedding when you're not his real friend? Well, that's ridiculous, right?
Wait, what? Is this you trying to say that because I never went to college, you don't want me coming to your wedding?
Well, to say it straight, yes. I want to know why you think you can even come to the wedding. And what would you even do if you came?
I never thought I'd be told something like that. Mariah, are you sure it wasn't just Joshua that told you I graduated from high school and finished my education there?
He wasn't the one that told me.
So that means he's not the one telling you these sorts of things, and making you feel as though you need to mess with me for it. Well, if he has nothing to do with this, and hasn't said anything about me not going to college, then don't you think you should stay out of it, considering you're not my friend?
Shut up, Ken. You're just a garbage loser.
Excuse me?
I went through and checked to see where everyone graduated from college. And I had heard from a friend in that surprise group chat about you. But I never thought that in his group of all his good buddies, you were there and never even managed to get a higher education. If you were to come to our wedding as the loser you are, then the whole wedding would go to waste. You don't want to ruin your friend's important wedding, do you? Well, if you don't want to, then give up on coming and stay away.
Give up on coming? But I was given an invitation by Joshua to be there. I've already called and said that I'll be coming. And so I have a seat prepared for me.
Then call and say you're not feeling too well and that you can't come or something like that. If you can't make up some kind of excuse, then just don't show up and say nothing.
I will not do something so rude.
Are you not aware that you coming to the wedding would be way more rude of you?
No, you stop all of that, please. I've never heard of anyone telling the guests they can't come to their wedding because they never went to college. I'm happy that you're worried about Joshua that much, but if you keep trying to get me to stay away, I'm gonna have to tell him.
If you come to the wedding, you're going to regret it, surely. So I think you should stop now before you become more embarrassed than you've ever been before.
I'm done talking now.
You idiot. By now you have to understand me, right? A loser that's never gone to college should never come to this wedding.
Don't you feel like you've gone too far now as the bride? You just poured beer all down my head and body because you think it's okay to look down on me?
Well, you are a loser, right? And my husband does not need to be friends with a low-life garbage.
I know that you're on your high chair now thinking you've won, but was there really any merit to you doing this? This is a bit difficult to ask, but don't you feel like a huge idiot yourself now?
Say whatever you'd like, Ken. I'm married to an elite man and will become a celebrity myself now in his world. And now that we are going to become a power couple, we have to rethink who our true friends should be. We wouldn't want people that are scummy to be around my husband and I in case they ever start coming to us asking for our large amounts of money or something. So that's why I'm making sure we cut ties with all his loser friends right now.
So this is you trying to protect Joshua from me? Or rather, you're trying to protect his money? Do you think by doing this, Joshua will be happy with you?
You losers are all so annoying to talk to.
And do you think anyone that's never been to college is an automatic loser? I think you, finding that someone who's never gone to college to be a loser, is a bit immature of you.
Say whatever you want to, as you've already lost. My elite husband will have no friends that never choose to make themselves useful in this society. Having beer spilled all over you should have opened your eyes to that, and now you can leave, right?
Then, I'm gonna do as you wish and go home.
I won't.
I was in the middle of handling Joshua's company's finances and properties, but you could tell him that I'll be ending my work with him for good now.
Huh?
I'll let him know myself as well, but you should also let him know the good news. Tell him that you poured beer all over his friend and partnering company's CEO. Then tell him to leave, as well as ruin his chances of creating any sort of business between the two companies.
Hold on a sec. What are you saying? Poured beer all over his partner company's CEO?
I'm talking about myself. I'm the CEO of his company he was partnering with. Understand?
What the hell are you talking about? There is absolutely no way a loser that never went to college and got a degree could ever become a CEO.
Well, I have become one. I was the one that started this company, and did so well with my work that it's huge now. And because of all my work, I live a life where I don't have to be called a loser, or a lowlife. As everyone else was using their money and loans to go to college and get a higher education there, I used my money and time to make a company, and put all my blood and sweat into it.
Wait a second, are you serious? You are an actual CEO?
That's right, Mariah. And Joshua was given a project that requires a lot of work, and was asked to partner with my company to start looking into how to get that project completed, with all our combined strengths. And while him and I were working on discussing things like the finances going into the work, he invited me to come to his wedding. But now I'm gonna have to cancel all our talks about partnering up, after what you've done.
Huh? Cancel your talks? What do you mean by all of that?
A lot of the people at the wedding are involved with those talks, and the project that's supposed to be worked on. But now that I'm not willing to do any more work with Joshua and his company, this was a huge loss. I'm sure when they hear the news of that here soon, they'll all walk out of the wedding as well. And I don't blame them, considering they'll have just lost a chance to make some major income with my company's help.
You're lying, right? There's no way this is anything other than a prank, right?
Why would I joke about this? I already told your husband, by the way. I told him that our talks are over.
Wait, Ken? He is really pissed with me right now. He's going off about how he's going to have this whole wedding canceled now and all that. That makes no sense.
It makes total sense, Mariah. Because of you, you just ruined a huge business deal. And I'm sure this is gonna cause him a great deal of trouble now when he has to go in and talk with his boss about this. And any chance of him getting a promotion or raise is out the window now. So him being pissed about all of this is totally normal.
So that's the reason? Why? I never knew a thing about the work you did in your position there. That's the only reason I was a small bit rude to you.
A small bit, you say? Are you sure about that? I feel you were more than a small bit rude to me, Mariah.
But that was all because of me being a bit rude, right? None of what happened between you and I had anything to do with his job.
And one could definitely see it that way.
So don't treat this as a reason to punish him and get back to making that business deal.
But I'm the kind of business owner that finds a relationship among people as very important. I was working with the company he's in to help make my company some money, but I was also doing it because he's an old friend of mine from high school. But seeing that you're the kind of woman he's willing to be married to, I don't think I want to work with him any longer. So I'm going to stop all efforts to make any deal with him, and will not be around to aid in his company's project.
You can't just do that to him because of someone like me, though. I just thought that you were some kind of low-life idiot, and...
And you used that as your excuse to pour beer all over me? You really thought it was okay to do something as rude as that then, huh? That kind of thinking is a real shame.
I didn't mean for things to end up this way, though. Right now, Joshua knows about what's happened and is really considering ending this whole wedding. If he goes through with it, then my special day will be ruined. And I bet that he'll even want to end things between him and I.
Well, if that's what he'd like, then I'll support him.
What are you saying? You're a jerk, Ken. Don't you want to become good friends with him again and get to know me a bit more now? This is all your fault for all this happening, so you should be trying to save things between us now.
Oh, please. Was I the one talking down to myself and pouring beer all over my head today? You acting like not knowing the kind of person I am was a good excuse for doing all that is not going to work. Is pouring beer onto someone you don't know normal to you, Mariah?
Even still, I was worried like hell about things. I wanted to make sure that my wedding would be perfect, but you were here.
So you thought pouring beer on me would make your wedding perfect? I'm sorry, but I have no idea what you're trying to say right now. What would you like me to do?
Come back here and make everyone calm down.
Huh? Me?
Tell them that you spilled that beer on yourself and that I'm a great person. And then follow up by saying you'll continue to work on the business deal and that this wedding should get back underway. If you tell them all that, they'll listen, right? Explain that this was all a misunderstanding.
You know that everyone is aware that this is what you wanted, right? Now, I'll be going.
Wait! Are you really planning to leave me behind when I'm in this much trouble?
Leave you behind? I was never with you in the first place, right? Do you not remember what you've done to me today?
Please, just forgive me. I will do whatever it takes to make sure that this wedding gets back on track.
Oh, is that so?
Joshua is an elite employee working for an amazing company. I already bragged about being with him to all my friends and family. And now my friends and family have been bragging about me to other people. They all think of me as the girl that was chosen by a man with a lot of money.
Mariah, that to me seems like you only want to marry him because of his money and job.
Huh?
You want to be with him because you could brag, right? You could brag all you want because he's an elite, right? I'm sure that someone like you will even end up cheating on him one day.
What the hell are you talking about? If he and I end up getting a divorce, it'll be all your fault. It's because you told everyone that the business deal was off that this is all happening.
Well, if that's what you think, why did you go ask Joshua what he thinks? If you both think the same thing, then I'm to blame for all of this, then I'll be willing to make things right again for you both. But I don't think he sees it that way. I'm sure he won't divorce you though, because he still loves you. And that's why he married you. So really, it's you that wants to leave him now because he'll have no chance of getting a promotion and making even more money, right? Maybe it's time you go have that chat with him, Mariah.
Can you please just come here and help us figure this all out?
No, thank you.
Why not? I'm asking you to help me and you're saying no thank you?
What you did today was completely stupid, and you need to be punished for that. And I will not help you avoid said punishment.
You won't help me. You're lying, right? I was finally going to start my dream life as a married woman.
You go and try your best talking with your now upset husband, okay? I'm not going to be seeing you anymore now, I believe. But you should be pretty upset with yourself for calling me a low-life loser, because I never went to college, right? Even though I'm really on the same level, if not higher than your elite husband, right? If you have really had all that time to judge others and have such a bias, then maybe you should have used that time to make yourself into a better person. Good luck trying to find another man to marry you after this.
In the end, Mariah and Joshua didn't even bother talking things through, and the wedding was called off, leaving all the guests that arrived even more upset. Joshua spoke with his family about what happened, and they all agreed that she was only with him because of his money, and so he ended up divorcing her. After the divorce was finalized, Joshua went back to Ken to tell him he was thankful for helping him open his eyes to the true person that Mariah was, and made sure that they were both still friends. Ken did cancel the talks their companies had with one another, but now that Mariah was no longer with Joshua, Ken got back to work making an agreement between them to work on that project. And this time, it seems like those talks will work out and a contract will be formed. It really was a great thing that the marriage between Joshua and Mariah fell apart. As for Mariah, after the divorce, she no longer had a place to call home, and her parents kicked her out as well, so she's been having to live on the streets now. Such a poor thing, but that's the punishment she needed to be rewarded with.
Amber! I told that old hag of yours to stay away from my wedding coming up soon. So can you make sure to tell her as well for me? Tell her that she will not be allowed into the wedding on the day of and that she needs to stay away from us so as not to cause any trouble.
What? When you say that old hag of mine, who are you talking about?
I'm talking about your mom being the old hag, and you should have known what I meant. Having her walk into my wedding all by herself with no partner walking beside her is just sad. So tell her to stay away. Simple as that. You are her daughter after all, so you should be fine with asking that of her for me.
Sandy? I'm sorry, but I have zero clue what you're talking about right now. Are you really telling me that you don't want my mom coming to my brother and your wedding?
I am telling you that. I shouldn't even have to be telling you this sort of stuff right now. You should already know that someone like her coming into my wedding would ruin the whole mood.
No, I don't know any good reason why her coming to your wedding would ruin the mood.
Why not? Being raised by a single mother is freaking embarrassing, right? And having her waltz into my wedding with nobody as her partner is so sad that I cannot allow it to happen when I'm about to show everyone my happiness. So tell her to stay away, please. Even your brother is embarrassed by her, so I'd like to keep her from coming in and ruining the whole wedding by making him and I beat red with anger and embarrassment. Just think about it with a level head, and you can see why I'm asking this from you.
Why are you saying things like that? I actually respect my mom a lot for having to raise her kids all on her own. And the way you're talking about her so cruelly right now is making me a bit upset, so please stop that. I feel bad for my mom right now hearing things like this about her from you.
What? Are you an idiot as well, then?
Excuse me?
You just have to put a little thought into it and you'd understand what I'm saying. If your mom comes to my wedding, she's going to ruin everybody's time. And if she begins to piss me off coming in as a single and depressing mother like that, then what do you think will happen to my wedding?
Well, stop trying to think that just by having my mom at your wedding, she'd ruin everyone's mood and end your wedding.
If she ends up coming in and giving the wedding a rotten atmosphere, your brother's going to be just as upset as I will be. Are you telling me that you want both me and your brother to be upset and embarrassed on our very special day?
Does this mean that my brother is 100% on board with having my mom stay away from the wedding?
Him and I are a married couple now. Anything I say about the two of us automatically makes him on board with it.
Well, if that's what you think, then fine. But I highly doubt that he'd be okay with what you're saying about our mom right now. Both he and I think highly of our mom and would never want to do anything to disrespect her.
You're the least helpful little sister. Well, whatever, I guess. We'll handle your mom on our own then.
And how are you going to handle my mom then?
Don't you dare go telling your brother anything about this, okay? And if you don't want our wedding to end up going up in flames, then you stay out of what happens next between us and your mom.
Well, now you're starting to get me worried about what you're planning on doing. I don't plan to say anything necessarily to my brother about this, but you're not going to do anything unwarranted to my mom, right?
We're getting very close to our long-awaited wedding and are both very nervous as well as excited for the day. So I ask you to please stay quiet about what I said. Allow your brother and I to have our moment in peace without getting in the way.
I still am a bit lost on what's all going on here with you, but I have no plans of getting in the way of your wedding. But can you make sure to talk all of this through with my brother as well before you ask to have my mom stay away from your wedding? Mom, have you gotten any messages from Sandy recently?
Well, she told me not to come to her wedding a little while ago.
So she actually did go ahead and tell you all of that straight then. I can't believe her. Well, you don't really have to worry about what she said to you, okay? I really do think that there's no way on earth that Kai would allow you to be told to stay away from his wedding with no good reasoning.
Well, I hope you're right.
Huh? Why do you say it like that?
Well, I'm just saying that what Sandy has said about Kai agreeing with her might be correct. I'm sure to him he has no real use for me anymore as his mother, and if anything, I'm just an embarrassment to him now.
Why are you saying all of that stuff about yourself and him? There's just no way that he'd think of you that way now.
Well, I heard all of this from Kai himself.
What? You heard this from Kai himself?
He told me that after what he's been told by Sandy, it's probably best that I really don't come to their wedding. And then after that, he ended our conversation by telling me to just not come. And ever since then, I haven't heard anything from him, no matter how many times I try to call and text him.
What the heck? What is wrong with Kai? Does he not see how rude he's being to you right now? I'll go and talk with him then.
Please stop trying to talk any sense into those two for me, okay?
Why should I stop trying, though? There has to be something going on between Kai and Sandy that we don't know about, because there is just no way he'd actually mean something as cruel as that. I bet you she's trying to brainwash him right now, and that his response to you wasn't his own.
And I'm sure that there's some reason for Kai telling me not to come, but we can't go around trying to force ourselves into those two's decision. I will at least go out and try to help them prepare tomorrow, but if they really do not want me coming to the wedding or having anything to do with it, then I'm going to stop. It's my job as his mom to let him decide who comes and who doesn't come to his wedding.
All right, then. How about the both of us go tomorrow, then, to help them prepare? I want the both of us to hear the real reasoning behind their decision for having you stay away.
Hey, why did you and your mom come here? I thought I made myself very clear when I said that I didn't want your mom coming to my wedding. What the hell are you thinking coming into this place with your mom?
Well, I'm having a hard time believing that you actually had the nerve to tell my mom to stay away from this wedding.
Well, even if you've come here today, it's not going to help your guys' situation any. Your brother and I didn't prepare a seat for your mom here.
Huh? You actually overlooked preparing a seat for my mom? For Kai's mom?
That's exactly what I'm saying. And why would I have? I told you that she wasn't allowed in here, yet she chose to come anyway with you.
Even if you're my brother's fiancé, this is going way too far. Allow us to talk to him right now about all of this.
Right now, Kai is busy talking with other people at the moment and doesn't have time to waste with the two of you. That's the whole reason I'm being considerate of him and am giving up my time to handle his family ordeal. As I had said to you and your mom before, there is no seating for her. I'm going to have your mom kicked out of this wedding right now.
You are the worst, Sandy, saying things like that about my mom.
I'm in the right to be saying all of this about her. Having to be raised in a single-parent household is one of the most embarrassing things to happen to someone, and I don't want him to feel that embarrassment today. All your mom is doing by being here is causing problems, and I want her to go home.
Then the whole family is going to go home.
Huh?
I've had enough of this from you. My mom is done dealing with you, and so the two of us are going to do as you say and leave this wedding right now.
Huh? Hold on a second, Amber. Did I ever say that I want you going home from this wedding as well?
You don't have to say anything like that to me, because saying something like that to my amazing mom is enough to make me want to go. So if you still want her to leave this place, then I'm going to join her and see her home. And right now, we are talking with other members of the family about this as well as friends. Even my brother is saying that he's ready to go now after what you've said to my mom.
Huh? What the hell are you talking about when you say your brother says he will go home? Do you have any other brothers besides Kai that I've never been told about?
I do not. I only have one brother, and that would be Kai. And Kai is the one saying that he'll come home with us. The way you've been acting around us and speaking for him has been way too much for him to accept.
Now, you wait just a second. What are you actually saying right now? What? Are you telling me that you told Kai about all of this? That has to be a load of crap, right? I specifically told you to not tell him anything about this and that I'd handle things between us.
Well, I was finally able to talk with him in person, face to face. And when we started to talk to one another, I made sure to show him all the things you've been saying to our mom and I about not wanting her here.
Huh? You're showing our conversations to other people without asking for my permission first. What the hell happened to there being something called privacy in this world?
And what happened to the privacy that my brother deserves to have from you?
Huh?
You ended up taking his phone from him on multiple occasions and typing all sorts of replies to my mom using his phone, making her think that she was talking to him when it was really you. And in the end, you were the one that blocked her on his phone, right?
I'm not really sure what you're talking about right now, but... Huh.
Come on now, Sandy. This is not the time to be laughing about that. You have very much shocked my brother with the way you've acted.
And so what? Why the hell did you tell all of this to Kai now? I swear, I told you very clearly to not get in the way of your brother and my happiness, and that includes this wedding today.
You think I was actually going to listen to you after what you said to me about not wanting my mom at her son's wedding?
Huh?
The way you've been acting around everyone has been completely screwed up, and my brother needed to know about what you were doing. And right now, he's in complete shock over what you'd done.
Huh? What are you trying to say I did that would surprise him so much? What did you actually say to my man that would make him start to doubt me? Why, Amber? Why would you do all this useless crap on the most important day of Kai's in my life?
This is all happening because of how you played your cards, Sandy. You kept thinking that you had the right to talk horribly about my mom and say that she was causing the two of you embarrassment. But it's because of my mom that you were able to meet such an amazing man as Kai. Because she worked her butt off for us, making sure we turned out as good people. What the hell does it matter to you that we have no father? You have no right to talk about my family like you have been, Sandy. Even if you have a problem with her being a single mother, my brother and I are both so thankful that we were raised by someone as warm-hearted and thoughtful as her.
Who gives a crap about all of that? Right now, things are going downhill for me. If I'm not able to have this wedding with Kai today, what am I going to do? Where the hell has he run off to right now?
Do you even have the ability to listen to what I say to you? I said just a second ago that not only my mom and I, but also Kai have all given up on you and are done here.
What do you mean given up on me and are done here, though?
I'm saying that we cannot forgive you for the way you've talked to us and the way you've acted around Kai. And it seems that he feels the same way and doesn't want to deal with you as his partner anymore.
Hold on. I just heard that Kai is telling everyone here that the wedding is canceled and to pack things up to head home. That has to be a sick joke or something, right?
No, you know very well that he is not the kind of person to joke about something like that, especially when he was so happy to get married today. If he's going around telling everyone that right now, then it's truly happening.
But him and I really did plan on having our wedding today, Amber.
I know that. And everyone else expected you both to have a wedding today as well. But if all your family and friends, as well as the groom, leave the wedding, then there's no way you can carry on with it, right? Unless you're going to have a one-man wedding today.
Why the hell would you say something like that now? How would I ever be able to have a wedding by myself? Why is all this happening to me now? This is all your fault, you jerk!
Huh? This is all my fault now? Why would any of this be because of me, Sandy?
I told you to stay out of all of this and not to get in the way of anything regarding my wedding with Kai today. But since you went ahead and opened your mouth to your brother about what's going on, this all happened. I never actually thought you'd be stupid enough to tell Kai about what I'd said and done.
Huh? You still have no clue what's going on here then?
What do I have no clue about, Amber?
The only thing everyone thought could never happen is the way you acted towards me and my family. You literally took my brother's phone from him without asking and blocked my mom's number on there so that she couldn't try and talk to him anymore. Is that something normal people do to their in-laws?
Well, when you say it like that, you make it seem like I have done something wrong.
That's because you have done something wrong. Plenty of things, actually. I myself am having a very hard time understanding why, after all that's happened, you're still having a hard time understanding why you've been in the wrong. Tell me, why have you done all of this to my mom and want to kick her out of the wedding?
Well, that's because I just don't want her to be here today, and so I want her gone.
Well, that's not giving us a clear reason, though. I want to know why you don't want her here and want her to go home. If your reason for all that is because she's a single mother, then maybe you shouldn't be marrying my brother in the first place. What kind of balls do you have to think that using that as a reason would be a good idea?
Well, listen, if your mom is single and can't find another man to marry, then in the future, Kai and I will have to take care of her when she's old and useless. And since he's the oldest, you won't have to worry about your mom, and all the responsibilities surrounding her will fall on us, right? So I've been trying my hardest to have the two of us cut ties with her sooner rather than later. I just assumed that by forcing her to not come to this wedding, that'd be enough to end things between us.
So your reason for all of this is due to your overbearing selfishness? Well, if that's it, then I guess there's no helping you now. You can talk the rest of this through with my brother.
Wait a second, Amber. If you don't stick around and help me, then my wedding is going to fall apart and I'll lose Kai. You and we're supposed to become sisters, right? Let's you and I grow close to one another and fix all of this. After what's happened to me today, I'll even forget about what I thought regarding your mom and allow her to come watch her son and I get married. And then after that, we can all become one big family, right?
After all you've done to us, you expect something like that to work out for you? No matter how you try and spin things now, we are never going to be your family.
Please do not say things like that right now. You're the only person that can help me right now in getting your brother to come back to me. Right. How about you go ahead and tell him to come back to me, and then after that we can forget any of this ever happened.
How about this, Sandy? How about you just forget about there ever being a chance of you becoming my brother's wife, and then we can end all of this right now. I'm so glad you went crazy just before the wedding, so that we could all see your true colors before the knot was really tied. If you and him really did get married today, then my family's future would have been in real danger. I'm really relieved to see that I won't become your sister-in-law after all. You must really be in a corner right now thinking we can all forget about what you'd done, especially after what you did to my mom.
You really don't have to say things like that right now, Amber.
I believe it was you that really didn't have to say all of the things you said to my family before, but you did anyway. So what happens to you next has nothing to do with me, okay? You can go right along and talk with my brother about that and see where you'll end up.
I'm not even able to get a response from your mom now. I wonder if I can get any of them to come back here. I'm sure if they just listened to my reasoning behind all of this, they'd understand me.
The only reason for all this was you trying to save yourself from having to care for my family in the future. Well, look at that. You won't have to worry about us anymore because none of us plan to talk with you anymore.
But your mom is supposed to be a really kind person, right? She would never say goodbye to me forever over a simple mess up like this, right?
Well, my mom's saying that she could never see you becoming a part of her family after what happened today.
She said that? That considerate mom would say something like that about me?
Well, weren't you the one that had planned on throwing her away the moment you married my brother? Oh well, I guess. Seems like you're going to be the one getting thrown away now after everyone came around to understand your true intentions. My sincere condolences, Sandy. Really sucks that you were never able to have your special day today. But you are like the devil, so there was no reason for you to have a special day in the first place. Good luck with the next man you plan on roping in. Hopefully he has both a mom and a dad that he was raised by, so you don't have to go through a day like today ever again. In the end, the wedding that had been planned for that day was canceled almost immediately. And of course, the legal marriage that Sandy and Kai had with one another ended up going up in flames. And because of the embarrassment they were forced to endure regarding this event, both of Sandy's parents ended up leaving her to fend for herself and would later cut ties with her. Sandy was then left to pay all the cancellation fees for the wedding, as well as a settlement for what she'd done to Kai's mom. But because she didn't have the money for all of that, she tried to get Amber's help again. However, this time, Amber wasn't going to have any more of Sandy and blocked her within seconds, so that she'd never have to hear or see a word from her again. It really seems fair that after all Sandy had done to Kai's mother and sister, she'd end up with no wedding, no husband, and no parents. She did say she went through all that in order to not have to deal with a single mother-in-law in the future, but nobody's even sure if that was the true reasoning or if this was all done due to Sandy just being a crazy woman.
I'm going to be getting married here soon. I'm sure that you're jealous after hearing that.
What? I'm sorry, but who is this?
Oh, please. It's me, Tracy. Now enough with those bland lies right now. Even if you have troubles remembering things all the time, there's no way you'd forget about someone like me. How could you possibly forget about your best friend after being together for so long?
My best friend?
I am Tracy. This is literally no reason you should have forgotten about me, right? You and I have been best friends ever since high school.
Tracy, huh? Did you end up changing your number or something? Because I don't have anyone in my contacts with your current number. It's been so long since the last time we talked with one another, so I couldn't really tell that it was you. So, what do you want from me?
Well, I told you why I'm talking with you right now at the start, right? I'm getting married. Were you not looking at anything I sent you before?
Ah, is that so? Congrats. But you really don't have to go out of your way to tell me something like that.
Why not? You're one of my best friends, and I'd be stupid to not tell you about how I'm going to get married soon. And to me, you're my number one best friend out of everyone, so I just had to tell you.
I'm your number one best friend? What do you mean by that? Are you sure you're not joking with me now? What the heck is up with you texting me now anyway after so long?
I'm not at all joking with you. I just wanted to let you know that me, one of your best friends, is going to be getting married soon. I'm going to be marrying a wonderful man, and you should be jealous of that, right? That's why I want to have all my friends come and celebrate my big day, and I'll be giving you all the chance to do that with an amazing wedding.
Is that right? Well, that's great to hear, I guess. What else would you like me to say to you besides congratulations?
I'm sure you'd love to make up a welcome board for my wedding that we can place outside the venue, right?
What?
I'll let you make that up for me, however you'd like to, as long as it's really special. I know that you've always loved working on crafts and things like that, so I'll let you take the responsibility for that. Back when we were in high school, you did all sorts of paintings and things like that, right?
Wait, when you're talking about high school, that was over 10 years ago, Tracy. Asking me to get back into doing arts and crafts now would be difficult for me.
I'm not sure how something like a painting a simple board could become so difficult for you. But this is a request from one of your best friends, so you're not going to say no to me, right? I want you to do your very best with that welcome board and make it look spectacular.
Can you hold on for 1 minute, please? What is all of this about? What the heck are you going on about, Tracy? Why do you want me working on some welcome board for your wedding? Shouldn't you be asking the reception hall to prepare that for you instead of me? They'll know a whole lot more about that sort of thing compared to me and will most likely have better tools for making it. Having me work on that board for you, well, it just won't come out as good as you think.
Even if it's difficult for you, I'd like you to work on it. Now, can you stop fooling around with me when I'm trying to plan things for my wedding?
Well, I'm also a little bit concerned about how you call me your number one best friend. Did you forget about what all you did to me a long time ago? Tracy, if you'd like for this whole conversation to be taken more seriously, can you calm down a bit and get real with me?
Let's just forget about what all happened back then. There's no point in us being held down by the past when there's nothing we can do to change it. If you continue to waste your time thinking about what happened years ago, you'll find yourself living with no reason.
I have no idea what you're going on about now, though. Even if you have a good point, I don't want to be hearing that sort of advice from you. I can understand why you'd like for the two of us to just forget about what you did back then, but...
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you at the wedding.
I'm not going, Tracy.
Do you want to go out for drinks or something as well before my big day? It's been so long since we last talked to one another in person after all.
I'm not going out to any place with you, Tracy. How many times are you going to make me say that before you understand? I'm not even sure what your plan is with talking to me after such a large amount of time has gone by. So please, just stop trying to ask me to come to your wedding and make whatever welcoming board you're asking for. Now, goodbye.
Dawn, are you really trying to get on my bad side?
Huh? What is up with you this time?
There's no way you'd actually be okay with making one of your best friends this upset on her wedding day.
Huh? So today's the day of your wedding then? I don't really care, but what do you think you'll be achieving by coming at me all upset like that?
I'm pissed off with you because you never even told me that you'd not be coming to my wedding. I'm no longer going to have the patience to forgive you after this. I'm cutting ties to you.
You are?
You making me this upset and being totally okay with it is enough for me. I even left you in charge of the welcome board for the wedding, yet you never showed up to give it to us to display.
What are you talking about? I don't even know anything about your wedding, like the time it's supposed to start, and even if I did, I wouldn't be making that board for you.
So you're telling me that from the start you'd been planning on canceling on me without ever telling me that? I cannot believe you'd be doing this to your best friend.
Oh my god. You seriously have zero clue what you're talking about right now, and it's making me laugh my butt off.
I'm talking about how you never told me that you wouldn't come to my wedding, but it's too late now since my wedding day is today. So I'm going to be cutting ties to you for good.
The fact that you're now this upset with me right now has me rolling on the ground.
What? You're being a total jerk laughing at me being this upset with you. I'm seriously pissed off with you right now, Dawn. I had entrusted you with one of the most important things at my wedding, and yet you canceled on me right before the wedding? Even if you're supposed to be my most best friend, I don't care. I'm going to be leaving you forever and will never forgive you ever again.
I'm sure this won't get to you, but from the start, I'd said I wasn't coming.
Huh?
Can you tell me again why you're getting so upset with me for no reason? Actually, I never even got a formal invitation from you to the wedding, so there's that. Where did you end up sending that invitation, if you actually did send it in the first place? I'm sorry, but that invitation never got to me, so you must have sent it to the wrong address. But of course, you had the wrong address because you don't even know where I'm living now.
What are you going on about? That's a load of crap. How did you never receive a physical invitation from me?
I'm just telling you the truth, Tracy. Did you actually try to invite me to your wedding after all that happened between us?
Of course I did. And why the hell would you say no to coming to my wedding?
That right there is a bit of a surprise to me and rather troubling. The fact that you wanted to actually invite me to your wedding of all things?
Huh? What the hell do you mean?
Way back when, in high school, you stole my boyfriend from me and continued to pick on me for the rest of our time at that school. And ever since we graduated from there 10 years ago, I had made sure to cut all ties with you so that I'd never have to see or hear from you again. That's why right now, hearing you tell me that you want to cut ties with me after not coming to your wedding today makes me laugh.
Huh? What do you mean you cut ties to me back then? Are we not really good friends with one another?
Oh, come on now, Tracy. You're actually going to make me pee myself laughing by calling us best friends.
So you really are stuck in the past that badly that you can't see me as your friend. Stop worrying so much about what happened back then, you emotional loser. I was able to forget about all of that only a few days after it happened. And as for your ex-boyfriend, him and I are no longer together, so you don't have to worry about him anymore. So why the hell are you still so upset with me?
I never said that I was upset with you still because of that event. That all has nothing really to do with me now, so I don't invest my time in thinking about it. And I think it's the right thing to do, not carrying those horrible memories around with me all the time. But what I do think about from time to time is how you ended up breaking things off with my ex after the two of you had gotten engaged. Things like that tend to spread around between friends, so eventually I have to hear about you. But what's wild is that after you had stolen my boyfriend from me way back then, you didn't want to make yourself look bad in front of everyone, so you started making lies about me being abusive towards him, and that you were only saving him from me. Rumors like that still float around to this day, and I have to hear them over and over whenever I run into someone from high school. Always things about you and I.
I never meant to make you look bad back then.
Well, it's fine, Tracy. All that stuff is in the past now, right? I really don't care about any of that stuff anymore. And I'm not going to dig any deeper into the rumors that spread looking for things about you that I can take advantage of. It's all been water under the bridge, and that's why I've never come looking for you to talk about anything.
But who cares about all that? What I'm upset about right now is how you canceled on my wedding on the day off.
And I told you that I didn't get an invitation. I had cut ties with you a long time ago, or at least I thought I did, and that's why I never chose to tell you my new address after I moved. So that invitation was never going to make it to me, right?
So you're telling me that I sent the invitation to your old house?
That's what it looks like to me. I bet it's sitting in the mailbox of that place right now, still unopened. And I think that because you only know my old address and nothing about where I currently live, it might even end up being sent back to you soon if the new owner of that house decides to give it back to the mailman. But let me be very honest here. Even if that invitation had gotten to me like you'd planned, I would have said no to coming because I don't have the want to be around you.
What? What do you mean?
You know what I mean, Tracy. I told you that I cut ties with you before. So no matter how hard you try to get me to come, I'm not going to. I'm sure you've noticed by now that a lot of your so-called other friends haven't shown up, right? After what you did to me in high school, you lost a lot of your friends because they were on my side and thinking that you were totally bonkers. So tell me, who from back then actually wants to celebrate you getting married now?
Hold on, Dawn. You actually think that? Are you and I not best friends?
How many freaking times do I have to tell you that we are not best friends? We're not even friends, Tracy. Hell, we're not even acquaintances. Ever since that day you chose to steal my boyfriend from me, you had used that as a reason to pick on me and spread rumors about how I was the one that was in the wrong. All of that really drove the message into me that you are anything but a friend to me. I know from word around town that you love to go around and have fun with all kinds of men after becoming an adult, but you still like to call that event your biggest accomplishment, right? All of those are reasons for why I do not want to be around a person like you anymore.
Well, I didn't know that I hurt you so much back then. Even after taking your boyfriend from you, I thought that you and I were still very good friends. Best friends. That's why I told you about how I was getting married and asked you to be one in charge of making the welcome board for my wedding.
Asking me to make that stupid board for you was like a massive joke to me because of how ridiculous you were being. That's why I took all you said to me as a joke and didn't bother to care.
Why would I tell you a thing and ask of you as a joke?
Oh? So then all of that wasn't just a joke, but you actually thinking that I would be coming to your wedding and wasting my time on something as stupid as that board? Which is scary because after all you'd done to me, you really thought it was okay to invite me? I never thought anyone that could steal their friend's boyfriend in the past and then make said friend look like the jerk would have the nerve in asking them to come to their wedding 10 years later. That's why I wasn't taking anything you said to me seriously. You really did a great job, Tracy. The nerves you have are incredible. Now, you have a great time at your wedding today. Although I don't expect many of your so-called friends to show up to it.
What the hell is wrong with you, Dawn? So you really don't plan on coming here today? This is the day of my wedding, Dawn.
I said that I'm not coming.
But canceling on me the day of my wedding is horrible of you.
So after talking with me for the past 30 minutes or so, you haven't been reading a single thing I've sent you? I never got a formal invitation from you in the mail, so I had no reason to come to your wedding today. So you can't call me a horrible person for canceling on you today when you never even gave me an invitation in the first place.
But to me, you've canceled on me. I really believed that you'd be coming today and made sure to get you a seat ready in the front row.
Why, though?
You're asking me why? Because you should have been coming to my wedding today.
Did you ever get anything about me RSVPing to your wedding at all? No, you didn't. And that's because I never got anything from you in the mail saying that I was invited. Why would you think that I was coming to your wedding when I didn't RSVP for it?
I wasn't thinking that much into you not responding because I just assumed you'd be coming either way.
Well, when it comes to things like weddings, people are usually coming only if they reply that they will to the invitation and RSVP. But if you don't get a reply from them or they say no, that means they are not coming. Right? That's how things like this have always worked, Tracy.
What? So that's what things like not replying into the invite normally mean? Even if they're my friend?
For crying out loud, Tracy. Then tell me what you thought was supposed to happen. How did you know whether people were going to be coming to your wedding or not and prepare seats for those that would be?
I just assumed that people I sent invitations out to would be coming for sure to my wedding. I never thought that people would want to say no to the invitation.
Geez, how self-centered of a jerk are you? At this point, I'm surprised you even found a man willing to marry you. You actually think that because it's your wedding that everyone you invite would just give up their plans and anything else they have going on in life to come? There's no way that's the case. If you didn't get a response from the people you invited, that means they are saying no to coming. No response equals them not coming.
Well, I didn't know anything about that. Nobody ever even told me something like that.
Nobody would, because that's something that everyone knows the moment they're born, practically. Another thing I highly doubt is that you even knew everyone's current address. So it's a mystery as to how many of those invitations actually made it to the people you planned on inviting.
I thought that me getting married and having this wedding would have made it the biggest event for everyone. I wanted everyone to come and see how happy I've become and that I got married before all of them.
Jesus frickin' Christ. You thought that your wedding would be the biggest event for everyone? You think that your marriage means something to everyone?
But even if it's not that big of a deal, I'm still getting married before you, so... That's at least proof to everyone that I'm still more important than you and that they should all come and see me happy.
I'm already married though, Tracy.
Huh?
I just never bothered to tell you about how I got married to my husband last year.
You have to be lying, right? I never knew about you getting married. You never even uploaded anything about you getting married to any of your social media accounts.
You're right. I didn't make any posts about getting married, but so what? I'm normally never posting anything and leave most of that stuff to my husband to do. And you're not even my friend, so I think I blocked you on everything after high school.
What are you talking about?
Let me just put it this way. My husband does most of the posting due to his job, and you are blocked from seeing anything of mine, so you wouldn't have known.
What job does he have?
Well, he's pretty well known all over the world, so he's pretty picky about what gets shared. But I don't care about any of that because he's given me a wonderful life with our marriage. He's been so considerate and wonderful that I've never had to worry about what happened between us back in high school.
Then why are you acting like this? Why can't you just come to my wedding right now for me? I'm supposed to be your best friend and you should be celebrating my happiness.
You're supposed to be my best friend. I don't think of you as anyone but a stranger, so there's no way I'm coming to your wedding. I told you again and again that I didn't get any invitations from you in the mail, so I wouldn't be coming in the first place. And even now, I don't want to come. But you still keep going on and on, thinking that I'm your friend and that I'm going to come. It's freaking annoying. I've had enough of you now, so can you just shut up and stay quiet?
I'm sorry, Dawn. I want to apologize to you for everything, so could you please find it in your heart somewhere to make it to my wedding? If you don't come to my wedding soon, then my wedding's going to be a complete mess, so please, come here.
No frickin' thank you.
Why though?
I have things of my own that I'm busy with. I already cut ties with you a long frickin' time ago, and I don't have the time to come out and see someone that I don't care to know about. Now, have fun at your crappy wedding. It'd be great if any of those friends you invited actually show up today. But that's if you even have any friends left to call your friends. After that, none of those so-called friends that Tracy thought she had ended up showing to her wedding, and that started to make her husband question things about her, and he called the wedding off. Tracy had originally planned to use her wedding as another way to pick on Dawn and make herself feel as though she was on top. But after everything that Dawn brought up turned out to be true, there was nobody around for Tracy to show off to. After Tracy had tried so hard to make this another chance for her to make Dawn feel bad, it turned out that this whole wedding was making Tracy feel terrible. Tracy tried in one last move to save her wedding to call those she invited, but soon learned that most of them had either blocked her or hated her enough to pick up the phone and tear into her. It seems that most of these people had moved out of town as well, so all those invitations Tracy relied so much on never even made it to her supposed guests. Soon after, Tracy's husband, although newlywed, found out about this part of Tracy's past and immediately took a 180 and asked for a divorce. Had Tracy just thought about things a bit more, she might have been able to avoid all this by only inviting those that actually see her as their friends still, if those people are even out there anymore.